hi there. Happy Friday. It is February the 7th, 2020, and I'm Eric, talking at you once again from Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, where I'm in a really good place right now. I don't mean like spiritually, I just mean I'm at home in front of a microphone with a beer. That is one of those intros that Gord would have really enjoyed. Welcome to What If We're Right, everybody. I am here tonight by myself with no Gord. So it's going to be a short episode. It's going to be a not funny episode. I'm just going to bitch about some shit, and we're going to miss Gord a lot. But we're not totally going to miss Gord because I brought some with me.
That's amazing.
I know, right? I got to do my usual shout out to Mike and the boys at Pit Lane Parlay. That is the #1 racing and IndyCar podcast on the internet today, and they're on Apple Podcast if you want to give them a listen. If you guys are into racing, it's actually a really good show, and they'd really appreciate it if you left them a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. As we all would, if you want to do that for me and Gord, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, finally, for now. I don't know how long that's going to last, but for the time being, we're there. And we would really like a rating or a review, good or bad. Feel free to go there and rate or review our show. If you don't want to listen to our show, I recommend Thor's Kin. That's a Podbean podcast, a really funny one with my friends Tom and Alex. They podcast together from the US of A and the wonderful United Kingdom, and it's a really, really funny show. I had a blast hanging out with them, and we are trying very hard to get Gordon and I on together with the two of them. It would be a really, really funny episode. Tonight, right now, because I'm by myself without Gord, which really, really sucks. We are live, though, so you can call me and help me out with this show, 604-655-9630, or you can live chat with me on Spreaker.com. The chat is open right now, and then we don't have to try to pretend that this is any fun without Gord. I can't tell you why Gord's not here, just because.
No, I'm not talking about because we're going to get in trouble.
That's right. I do have a clip I want to show you guys a little bit later that is one of my favorite clips of Gord that I don't think made it to the air, so that'll be fun in a minute. Also want to mention, starting on March the 1st is a fantastic show produced by Oracle Media Productions, and it's called The Stories Behind the Songs. And it's where 3 different hosts walk you through the stories behind some of their favorite songs. Some of the bands being featured are the Cars, Styx, Rush, the Beatles, Elvis Costello, Silverchair, Bjork. I get to do a Pearl Jam episode, which if any of you know me, you know that's going to be a lot of fun. And I decided not to pick like 5 songs that everybody knows. I went with some of their lesser known songs, unless you're a Pearl Jam fan, in which case you know them all. I would like to know what you guys think of the new song, Dance of the Clairvoyants. I made a special time all to myself. I had it on my phone, but I waited till I was like alone out in the woods so I could really enjoy it, and I listened to it, and it didn't blow me away. As a matter of fact, it sort of pissed me off. Still looking forward to the album. There's still no band I like more at the moment, but that song, I wasn't blown away. I don't know. I like that they do everything different from previously. Like, every album is totally different from the one before it. That's pretty cool. But that song, I don't know. It didn't do it for me. So tell me what you think of that. You can send me an email tonight. We're not doing anything funny because I'm by myself, so you just send your emails to Eric at ericandgord.world. that is the new website that I've put out for us again. I know sooner or later I'm going to quit putting out new websites, but until we find one that sticks and works, that's just what I do. So, ericandgord.world, that's a cool little website. I put some fun stuff on there. There's not a bunch of, like, self-indulgent Eric crap there. It's just Eric and Gord, plain and simple. The really cool thing is, though, there's a feature there where you can go and leave a up to 5-minute voice message for Eric or Gord or either of us. If you want to fucking tell us to go pound salt, or you want to tell us how great we are, or you want to just talk about something that we didn't talk about on the show, or whatever you want, leave a 5-minute, up to 5-minute voice message at ericandgord.world. There's a little button off to the side. You just click that and go ahead and start talking. And just please be sure to specify if you don't want it played on the show. Because if you don't tell me not to, I promise you, I will. So, where was I? Stories behind the songs. Listen to that starting March 1st. It's going to be a fun show. It's been a lot of fun to make. I'm looking forward to it coming out. What else? I don't know. I am lost without Gord.
That's amazing.
I know. All the best, Gord. I hope you're doing okay. I hope we get to hear from you again over the weekend. As I said, I'm going to play a Gord clip in a little while. Just a couple of things I wanted to talk about that I thought he would get a kick out of. The first thing that I noticed in the news today that was just fucking amazing to me, Twiggy, this is the headline that caught my eye, and this is just so encapsulates the town that I live in. And if I got any Vancouver listeners that want to chat with me or call in, please call in and give me your opinion on this just goddamn train wreck of a city we live in. Here's the headline. Twiggy the water skiing squirrel is under investigation for violating Vancouver bylaws. Oh, god damn it, I wish I was making that up. Twiggy the water skiing squirrel is under investigation for violating bylaws. I guess
my name is Jeff.
There is a boat show in town. The Vancouver International Boat Show happens every year. I've been to it only one time, and it was cool. Like, there's some show boats there that are just fucking out of this world. They're just, like, amazing. These giant, like, $1 million yachts. They're bigger than apartment buildings. It's a show of just absolute, like, affluence and just people who have way too fucking much money go to look at these things. I don't know if anybody buys boats there. They just go to fucking talk about it. People who wish they had enough money to afford them go to look at them, and people who have enough money to afford those kind of boats probably aren't fucking spending their weekend at boat shows. They're out doing cool rich guy shit. But I guess they've got this boat show tours around with this trained squirrel that water skis. And it's like to teach kids safety. What do you call it? Life jacket safety. What's that jacket you put on that saves your life? No, yeah, it's a life jacket. They don't just call it that. That's what it does. So this fucking water skiing squirrel, he's a squirrel that water skis. And he wears a life jacket. And he teaches kids to wear a life jacket. And that's probably a good thing, because kids let's be honest, they're not getting any smarter every year. Most of them will probably drown in a bathtub if you take your eyes off them. So it's a good idea, just put a life jacket on your kids at all times, just so that when they're walking to school, if they're riding a bike, if they're alone in the bathtub, if they're using a urinal, anytime like you might have to take your eyes off your kids, just put a life jacket on them. But this fucking Vancouver has a section in their, like, bylaws, Schedule A, Section 13 of the Business Prohibition Bylaw clearly states that rodents are prohibited from participating in competitions, exhibitions, or performance events. Yeah, rodent. So if no rodent races, no rat races in Vancouver, no squirrel fighting. There's never going to be like the UFC of squirrels, the SFC. That's not happening because it's not allowed in Vancouver. So don't go to Stanley Park and bet on a squirrel to win in a fight because they're not allowed to partake. It is against the law in Vancouver. Bum fights probably didn't make the law books. That's not a thing. You don't have to worry about, like, you can pay two bums to beat each other to death for fucking $50, but not squirrels. We gotta protect the fucking squirrels. Lord knows there's not enough of them. How I don't even know what to say about this fucking thing. How far can we go with goddamn bylaws? That's the problem with municipal governments, and it's one of the reasons I ran for mayor in 2018 and why I plan on doing it again next year in 2021, because I want to just point out the absolute absurdity of the shit that goes on in municipal law more than anything. Because what happens in municipal law, whatever the length of the term is, the next government gets in Vancouver it's 3 years, some places 4, some places I'm sure it's probably 2. But either way, the new municipal government gets in, and they spend their first year just fucking throwing out shit the old municipal government did and writing in their new stuff. But they do it in little bits and pieces. So over the years, these things accumulate, and you get these fucking ridiculous, just half-assed laws. It's how, like Vancouver, you end up with viaducts sitting there for 40 fucking years that go nowhere and do nothing. They're just a big giant eyesore. And they're useless, and then governments for years and years have to fucking debate over what they're going to do with them. Or you get someone who's just got some boneheaded fucking idea about something, and they put something in the books, and it gets forgotten over time. And this is one of those fucking ideas. Some bonehead fucking probably PETA supporter doesn't want rodents to participate in competitions, exhibitions, or performance events. That is just fucking ridiculous. Whoever put that in the books, just thank you for giving me a story. And I'm going to be thinking about this for a long, long time, because that's amazing. And I feel bad if you're a rodent owner and you planned on maybe getting them in the movies, or, you know, taking them out on tour, showing what your rat or squirrel or mouse or fucking rabbit can do, or ferret maybe, or is a ferret a rodent? No, they fucking should be. They stink. But your rodent's not competing in Vancouver. Sorry. You're gonna have to call. I don't know who you even call about that. There's got to be some rodent lawyer you could call. Some rodent civil rights lawyer that's gonna fight against this and make sure your rodent can get into fucking rodent. Do we not have something more that our lawmakers could be paying attention to? There's about 150,000 things I can think of right now that are more important than whether or not our fucking squirrels are water skiing without a permit. What do you think the fine is for that? Woo! That was cool. Thanks, Gord. Water skiing rodent. That is just incredible. What else do I have in the news that I wanted to talk about? Oh, yeah, real quick. I totally forgot to bring this up. I'm lost without Gord.
My name is Jeff.
The Canadians in the Wuhan province were finally airlifted out. None of the Canadians airlifted out of the infected area showed signs of the coronavirus. None of them showed symptoms. So that's, you could chalk that up right into the no fucking shit file. I can't believe this is a news story. I know I've gone on and on about it every single fucking day. I don't understand where this is coming from, and I don't understand why it's making news when since January 28th, almost 4,000 people have died of Ebola. Why is that not news? Why are we not talking about that or doing something about that? Instead, we're talking about a bunch of, 20,000 people with the sniffles, and 19,998 of them are still in fucking China, contained where they should be. I don't get why this is a story. I don't get why people are freaking out. I know my mom is going absolutely fucking banana hammock over this story. She thinks she's going to die. And I'm like, you're not going to die because you're not in Vancouver or Toronto, where the only fucking 4 people that have this goddamn thing are. And they basically have to sneeze in your mouth for you to catch this fucking thing. And even if you do, unless you got to be 95 and already have AIDS before this is going to make you sick. It's such a non-fucking story. And I don't get what's going on. The only thing that I can think of is they're trying to tank the Chinese economy with it. Like their oil markets have dropped like 20%, which is awesome because the Canadian government just invested some millions of dollars in the Chinese oil markets, thinking it was going to be a good ROE on a quick investment. No. ROE? Did I say ROI? Sorry. Quick ROI on a big investment? No. Nope. We just flushed that right down the fucking toilet. So, way to go. That's good. Like, I've always said my whole life I'm not going to qualify for CPP. I'm not going to get CPP. CPP won't exist when I'm old enough to collect it. I never really imagined myself being old enough to collect CPP or making it that long, but it looks like I might just get there. And when I do, it's not going to be there. Our governments are taking every effort they can to make sure that people my age are just fucking hooped. We're all going to have to work until we're 90, and that doesn't really fit into my schedule. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I don't plan on working till I'm 90. And before anyone makes any smart-ass remarks about how I'm not working right now, just screw yourselves. This goddamn podcast is a lot of work, so figure it out. I'm trying to do something a little different with my life. And besides, I'm fucking useless. Not that good at working anyway. This is basically the full extent of, like, physically what I'm capable of. I don't have a muscle from the neck down, and I'm not, what's the word? I'm not motivated or interested in doing anything anymore. I'm done. I want to retire at 42, which is not that far away. I got all this stuff, but I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it. Because a lot of this is stuff I want to talk about with Gord. A story Gord brought up, I believe it was last night, Gord and I were talking about train crashes that have happened this week and how convenient it is that the pipeline is just getting pushed harder and harder, and because there's all these fucking ridiculous train crashes. And Transportation Minister Marc Garneau, who is just a shining example of the kind of efficiency we can expect from the Canadian government, he's made an executive order that all trains carrying large quantities of dangerous goods have to slow down. That's his answer right there. If you got a shitload of dangerous explosive material on your train, you're not allowed to go very fast. Now, I'm not sure if our transportation minister understands how, like, volatile materials work. Maybe if we could get a minister of fucking science or something to tell him how when sparks combine with oxygen and a fuel source, they create fire. It doesn't matter how fast your fucking train is going. If your tire sparks and catches the dangerous goods on fire, it doesn't matter how fast the train is going. It's still going to burn. I love the Canadian government. That is amazing to me. So trains, you can sleep easy tonight. Anyone who has a train going through your backyard, it's okay. It's all going to be okay because they're going to go slow from now on. Wow. That is just fucking...
Yes, science!
Yeah, right? We seriously need our big train company. I think there's still just the one. I think CN... is it CN that... Or CP is only in BC and CN is national, or the other way around, and I don't fucking know how they work. I know we only have the two, or maybe they're just the one now. I'm not even sure about that. But they need some regulation. I don't understand how we're still working on like handbrakes and fucking relying on these pothead fucking engineers to make the train stop. Why can't we just have some sort of braking system that doesn't fail? Something made in like the 21st century. I don't know how we're putting fucking rovers on Mars and we got supply ships going to the International Space Station and we're figuring out time travel and we can make a third fucking John Wick movie, but we can't come up with some way to make a train not blow up. That baffles me. And anyone who's anti-pipeline right now, Gord would tell you to go eat a fucking bullet because this train thing is obviously not working. And I don't even understand how we allow this to go on. That's the part about the Canadian government that I just don't get is how they could just turn such a blind eye to things that are so blatantly obvious. Whether they seriously don't care or it's got nothing to do with their pension plan, so they don't give a fuck. I don't get it. I would love to have a government official join Gord and I for a serious conversation. If there's anyone that works for the federal government who could speak to just some of the things that have gone on in, let's even just say Trudeau's second term. If someone would be willing to come on, we won't make fun of you. We won't bring up anything you don't want to talk about or anything. I just want to know how decisions like this come about, how we're not putting regulations in where we need them, how fucking, like Gord was saying, the parole board is just, you're bringing your goofy little brother to fucking work on the parole board. And it's just as long as you're in term, you get to appoint whoever the fuck you want to work on the parole board, and then they make decisions like this guy's got to get out because whacking it's not good enough for him, and then the next thing he does is go and kill a super hot sex worker. Those kind of decisions have to bug you at some point. Like when you're in the government, like I understand shitty people, I get it, but like how could you fucking sleep at night when you got this shit going on your watch? Like, What do you tell your grandkids when you're like, oh yeah, I used to work for Prime Minister Trudeau. I used to be, part of his government. I made these decisions that saw fucking trains blow cities off the face of the earth and guys, psycho murderers get out of jail. And a guy here in fucking BC just smoked a couple on the highway and killed a pregnant woman. She's only like married for... Her fiance lives. She's like just newlywed to this dude, and she's pregnant with his kid. They get run off the road, and she fucking dies. This dude does a month in jail. How do you live with yourself after this guy runs a car off the road and only gets a month for killing a pregnant woman? Like, how do you not just want to fucking kill yourself every day? It baffles me. I don't get it. And I don't understand how we as citizens keep electing the same fucking people who make these kind of decisions. How can we be okay with this? And then we're surprised that there's like crime in our neighborhoods. Well, guess what? Why wouldn't there be crime in our neighborhoods? What the fuck do we have to deter us from committing crime? Like maybe a month in jail, if we even go to jail, if the fucking court feels like, oh, maybe rushing enough to even get us a sentence before it's thrown out because it's a violation of their fucking rights for waiting too long for a trial. Why would we ever be deterred? There's nothing to scare us. And jail is such a cushy fucking thing. It's ridiculous. I wasn't kidding when I told this story. I don't even know when. Everything just looks like one big day in my fucking head. I don't know when things happen, but I told the story of the guy I know, and I actually know this guy. This is a legit thing, who is actively trying to get put in jail because he needs his teeth fixed. And in jail, he can have his teeth fixed for free, so he's trying to go. And that's trying to go. Like, it's actually hard to get thrown in jail if you want to. How fucked up is that? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Wrong.
That's right. It's
wrong.
I'm not going to talk about that fucking meathead tonight. If anyone knows, if you don't know who this is,
wrong.
I'm not talking about him tonight. I know Gord would probably like me to say something about him. I don't want to. I don't give a shit. I think it's just they are such a train wreck south of us. And frankly, I'm happy to watch him just ruin that country because the worst of the worst support him. And that's great. I would love to see him just destroy that country, and maybe they smarten up. I don't think they will. These fucking QAnon idiots and everyone else who's a Trump supporter, at least they all seem like the world would be a better place without most of them, 90% of them. I'm not on board with Gord's whole thing about wiping out 2/3 of the population, but definitely any Trump supporters who like legitimately support anything about that man, the world's better off without you. You could go on a couple of Elon Musk test flights. I certainly wouldn't mind. And I don't think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people are fed up. And I think the thing you got to watch out for is what is going to happen after Trump. It's a funny news story right now. It sure as fuck is giving Gord and I a lot to talk about. And I appreciate it on that level. But nobody seems to be thinking about in 4 years from now, at the maximum, what do you do with your train wreck of a Trumpster fire goddamn country in a post-Trump era? What do you do? You're just fucking stuck with all the decisions he's made. That is, I don't even know what to tell you. That is really just fucking sad for you guys. What else do I have? Did I talk about the stories behind the songs? Yeah, I did. Nobody has fake virus. This is going to go really, really fast. The train that fucking has to slow down your trains. That is amazing. Okay, I only have like one or two more things to talk about. I was gonna do a big speech about the easiest thing in the world. I'll do that in a little bit as well, probably. In the meantime, why don't I show you guys a clip of Gord and I talking? I believe this is in January. And it is, I don't think we talked about this on the air, but it was a story Gord wanted to bring to the episode, and I'm not sure if it made it. I know we didn't talk about it on the air. I'm almost positive, but it was a really funny story. It had me just howling today when I was looking for stuff to show you guys. So this is probably about a month ago, Gord and I talking about just an awesome story.
Dude, I cannot wait to read you something. I cannot wait. Like, I want to tell you what it is, but I'd rather surprise you with it.
All right. Well, we'll go in a second here.
This is amazing. Oh, can I'm going to just have to tell you first. Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
In Des Moines, Iowa, or Des Moines, Kansas, a Kansas man has asked an Iowa court to grant his motion for trial by combat so he can meet his ex-wife and her attorney, quote, on the field of battle, where he will rend their souls from the corporal bodies.
Wow. The guy wants to literally LARP to death.
Yeah, he literally does.
I grant it. Do it. Any way you want to die, I think should be granted.
No, like, he wants to kill her. He wants to kill his ex-wife and her attorney.
As long as he does himself afterwards, I'm on board.
To this day, trial by combat has never been explicitly banned or restricted as a right in these United States.
Don't you love that? I love those old laws.
So technically, he can get what he wants.
Yeah, I love those laws that they never bothered to remove them.
Well, he got the idea after learning about a 2016 case in which the New York Supreme Court Justice Philip Marino acknowledged that duels had not been abolished.
Well, there you go.
It's legally fine to have a duel, so he thinks, well, then in their case.
Yeah, Michael Moore, when he had his TV show TV Nation, he found somewhere in the States that they forgot to take slavery out. So he went and got a bunch of slaves and lived there. And he literally got a bunch of black guys to be his slaves for the day.
That's amazing.
I love that shit. Well, it's like the Alberta one that I always talk about. If you get kicked out of Alberta, they still have to give you a horse and 3 days food.
That's right.
It's like $150,000 now. Horses aren't cheap.
I mean, literally, if you get kicked out of town, you know how much money you get just for the horses alone?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, like, holy shit, yeah. That's like money.
It's a lot harder to get kicked out of a province now than it used to be, though.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't. I don't even think it even happens anymore.
I've never heard of it legitimately happening.
Okay, I thought that clip was a little bit longer than it actually is. But that was one of my favorite conversations I've had with Gord recently. And I just thought it was really funny. I finding it, I don't get how you still get to choose your way to die. That's pretty cool that you can. I don't know. I think most states, just like the states that have the death penalty, you just pretty much, I think your only choice is like the chair or the lethal injection or something. I don't think you can like have a duel anymore. I think you should be allowed to die any way that you want to, especially in that kind of a scenario. If you get the death penalty, I think as long as you try to expedite the situation, you should be allowed to go however you want. Like, fucking strap you to a rocket and shoot you over a rainbow or something. I don't give a shit. As long as you want to go quickly. I don't understand people who end up on the on like death row for 40, 50 years, whatever. You know, you can be on death row till you die. How the fuck does that make any sense? We pay for you to just be on death row till you die. That's not really death row then. That's just fucking waited out row. Why do taxpayers pay for a guy to sit on waited out row? Like, put a bullet in him and fucking be done with it and give that money to people who didn't commit crimes. I don't know. Am I wrong? Just saying. Was that still going? I don't understand what's going on here with this clip. Anyway, moving right along. I am hearing... What the hell is going on here? Sorry. I am hearing weird shit here from all over the place. The live podcast is not going well. See, things just fucking fall apart when Gord's not around.
That's amazing.
Shut up, Gord. Anyway, I knew this wasn't going to be a super long episode. I am going to save what I have for him because I know he's going to get a kick out of it. The next story. A couple of things we do want to... Oh, yeah, we were talking... One thing I should mention. Gord brought up Coach Dave Dobbenmeyer, a apparently YouTube sensation. He's quite popular. I was trying to look up all his shit today, and he has he's real big on the salt of the earth and people being the salt of the earth. And I went today to his Facebook page and I signed up for Dave's Salt and Light Brigade. So I am officially a member of Dave Dobbenmeyer's Salt and Light Brigade. I don't know what that entails. I'm sure it's going to be some kind of freaky cult-like shit. I'm just waiting for my my phone to ring any day now. And just have Coach Dave fucking trying to get me to sue the NFL for $800 I think it was $67 trillion he was trying to sue for. What a fucking maniac. Christians in general just baffle me. My mother and I were having this argument again the other day, and I'm sorry, until you get fucking kids out of the things that you apologize for and things that you will cover up your mean guys for, then I can't respect you and I can't follow anything you do. And I can't take you seriously until Don't Fuck Kids is the top of your list of things that you promote. And that goes for anybody out there. These fucking maps freaks that I am not going to shut up about. That's going to be my little mission for the year. These fuckers who've got this goddamn podcast that I tried to listen to. I couldn't get through it. Gord apparently tried to listen to it independently yesterday too. He had trouble stomaching it. Someone has to find out who is behind this podcast and fucking eliminate them one way or another. I can't have that shit on the same fucking bandwidth that I'm on. I can't. I hate it. It turns my stomach that these people can operate and just get away. I know I say a lot of stupid shit on this show, and for the most part, I mean it. There's stuff, obviously, that I exaggerate for comedic value all the fucking time. When I say things like Canada has 2,700 people, I don't believe that. Okay, I know the numbers. I say it to be funny. I know I say a lot of stupid shit on this show. 90% of it I will stand behind. I know a lot of firemen, they're dicks. Yeah, a lot of firemen are heroes. Guess what? A lot of them are dicks too. Sorry, I'm not. That's just the way it is. And I don't apologize a lot for the things I say. I don't just fucking wing it up here. I'm not just saying shit to get a rise out of you guys. I am saying shit to maybe get you to think a little bit differently, maybe get you to realize that the status quo isn't working, maybe get you to just not pay attention to the fucking goddamn 6 o'clock news and think that those people are saying anything because they give a shit about it and not just because Shaw or Rogers is paying them to do so. And research. I want people to research who is writing the fucking article that you're posting on Facebook and convincing people is news, and then you look behind it and it's not news. It's just some guy's fucking opinion, but he's paid a lot of money to make it look like he's some sort of legitimate news source. I just want you guys to fucking figure it out. I don't give a shit if you agree with me or not. Fucking go look at the stories I make and then call me and tell me how fucking much you disagree with me. Prove me wrong. It's what if I'm right, not I totally am fucking right. Prove me wrong. That would be fantastic. You guys start calling in and just telling me that I'm a fucking bonehead. I would love it. Or leave voice messages at ericandgore.world. Tell me I'm a meathead. And while you're there, drop $27 on a t-shirt. Men's or women's. 5 different sizes. I think there's like 8 or 10 different colors. 2 styles of t-shirt. They're really high quality. They're really good fucking shirts. $27 is a bargain at the moment. I'm sure I could get them cheaper than that, maybe a little bit down the road, but you don't want to wait. You want to be one of the first ones to get them. They make a great Valentine's gift. You're going to have to take the life jacket off your water skiing squirrel, maybe give him a t-shirt to make him feel better. You can order those. There's a sheet on ericandgord.com to order those. Or, sorry, ericandgord.world. Doesn't matter. You go to ericandgord.com. Same thing. It's all the same. They're all the same. But, yeah. That was... Did I make a point there? I don't think I did. I'm just trying to say... I know I say a lot of stupid shit. But I try to stand behind it. I'm trying to get you guys to stand behind the stupid shit that you say. I don't know. You know what I mean, right? If you don't know what I mean, send me an email. Eric@ericandgord.world. And just say, hey, meathead, nobody knows what you mean, because when Gord's not around, you just babble like an idiot. And that's fair. I will accept that. Okay, real quick, I guess I should mention, because Gordon and I kind of slacked off on this toward the end of last year. We started off strong, but we didn't really keep it up, and it's something I'd really like to push, especially now in this era where Trump is just going to be a fucking maniac, and for some reason that affects all of us, and we're in that fucking, we want winter over, and it's taking way too long, and it's cold and shitty, and we hate it, and it's tax time, and nobody's happy about that, and we're all just pretty fucking generally miserable right now around this time of year. So it's a really good time for us to push something that I started it long before Gord was ever on the show, and then Gord just fucking fell in love with the idea, and we've been running with it, but we haven't been keeping it up, and it is this initiative we're trying to push on everybody. It's the hashtag easiest thing in the world initiative, and all we're asking is that you don't do anything different. Don't go out of your way. Don't change your daily routine or anything. Just whenever you interact with someone during your day, try to be nice to them. Literally the easiest thing in the world, and I guarantee, having spent the last 2 years on the downtown east side of Vancouver, the worst neighborhood in the world, this shit works, and it's contagious, and it gets to be really fun after a while, and it's something you want to do because it's cool. All you gotta do is seriously just be nice to everybody. It's not gonna work all the time. You know, sometimes people are just dicks for the sake of being dicks, and you gotta figure out a way to deal with them, and that's fine. But if you can, if it's avoidable, then just go about your day. Try to be nice to everyone. You'd be amazed what it changes. And then if you do it and you had a good time doing it, hashtag easiest thing in the world, and let me and Gordon know what you did to be a part of this. And we'll send you a t-shirt or $25 or something. That's something we can actually do now, is send shit out. And I'd really like to hear you guys' stories about how you participated in the hashtag easiest thing in the world initiative and what you did to make that a thing. And if we all start doing it a little bit, it'll start catching on, and before you know it, everybody's fucking doing it, and next thing you know, maybe people aren't shooting each other, maybe kids aren't killing each other, maybe we just all have a really fucking good time being together, because guaranteed we don't have a whole lot of time left. Whether it's global warming, or North Korea, or fucking, I don't know, sharks, or whatever it is that's going to take us out, a giant asteroid or a fucking Chinese virus. I don't know what's taking us out, but I guarantee it's not far off. I don't think humans have a long time left on this planet, and I don't think we're anywhere near, like, the Starship Enterprise whipping us out of here before the planet's fucked. I think we're just fucked. Maybe 100 years, maybe another 150 years, maybe something like that. I think we're fucking gone. So the more we can do in that short time to teach our kids to be good to each other and just fucking try to be happy, be good to each other, make sure everybody's okay, that would be a really amazing thing. And I'm sure not going to be around to see it. So let's try to start and do it for each other while we're all still around. and try to pass it off to our kids. That is literally the easiest thing in the world. That is just about all the time I'm going to bore you guys with for now. I know it's not like a super long episode and probably not particularly entertaining, but I do want to try and be as consistent as possible, even on the nights where Gord can't make it, because Gord's a busy guy with a very busy life, and he's got a lot of shit to take care of all the time, and that's cool, that's important, but I want to try to keep the show going as much as I can without him. So the best way to make that happen is if you guys follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, put some reviews on Podchaser or Chartable or even on Apple Podcasts, and just tell everybody that this show is kind of cool and you'd like it to stick around for a while. And I will make sure that next time Gordon can't make it in, I'll try to have a guest or a guest host or someone who is much smarter and more interesting than I am who can carry the show, because I certainly can't do it on my own. I had no pretensions that this was going to be like the best episode of the year or anything. I just wanted to say hi, and because I miss you guys. I know you probably don't miss me while I'm gone, but I miss you. So thanks for listening. Hopefully we're back tomorrow night with Gord. I can't guarantee that. If he's not here with me, I'll make sure somebody is who's a lot of fun and better than me. So until that happens, thank you for paying attention. And just, that's it. Take care of each other. I'm going to play you out with an old favorite song of mine. This is called Calling It Out. Have a good night, everybody.